everyone, fellow Toastmasters guests. I'm Susan Kufdakis, of course, in section 2, I'm 1L, and this is my icebreaker speech, loser like me. It's in quotation marks because I'm just doing a disclaimer that I'm not actually just slamming myself. It just goes with the theme. All right. Yeah, you may think that I'm a 0, but hey, everyone you want to be probably started off as me. You may say that I'm a freak show. I don't care, because give me just a little time, you're probably going to change your mind. These are lyrics from the hit television series Glee. Yes, I am a Glee, what popular culture refers to as a hardcore Glee fan. Most of my fellow classmates and colleagues roll their eyes at me for admitting this, but I promise you, there is a reason behind my madness. I was born into a loving family. I always had my mom, my dad, and my brother at my side. My parents were amazing parents who always went through great strides to give me this picture-perfect childhood. I didn't even know what the concept of bully even meant until I switched schools. From 3rd grade to 10th grade, I was bullied to the extreme. I joined choir in 5th grade, and that helped me put up with the worst of things. I was brutally tormented by, especially in my own neighborhood. To put it lightly, I was cyberbullied before MySpace, YouTube, and Facebook. People with neighborhood children, girls mostly, would call my home phone, because this was a time before landlines became obsolete. They would call me with this hope of hanging out, and then they would pretty much set me up. They would get me out to an isolated spot in our neighborhood, and then they would do these pranks where I either wound up in the ER because I was physically injured from the trick, or they would do some sort of prank that emotionally tormented me. And this happened about 10 times in my childhood, in the 7 years I lived in this neighborhood. There was other instances, like in this 8th grade trip to Six Flags. My classmates actually at the water park stole my clothes. I had to endure that 2-hour bus ride back home in nothing but a wet swimsuit and not even shoes. Little did I know they were taking pictures of me while I was crying for those 2 hours. I cried the entire 2 hours. And they developed these pictures on the first day of high school. After the summer was over, I saw the freshman locker wing littered with these pictures. There were even close-ups of my cleavage, and I was 14. Eventually, after several years of this, both my brother and I started to act out at school. He was actually bullied worse than I was. It got to a point where the school administration was shocked because they couldn't even perceive why these role model students would act out to the degree they did. They would call our parents in practically daily after a certain point, and my mom and dad both supported us along the way. The school administration actually ran every time they saw my mom, because every time they punished us, my mom would take it to the school board, and she won every appeal. In 2009, I came across the show Glee. Immediately, I was glued to the screen, and I actually felt myself relating to these students. This was a time when a lot of kids would commit suicide through cyberbullying, and I would ask myself, why did I not do this? And the answer was simple, because the bullying stopped the second I entered into my loving home. My parents gave me unwavering warmth and love and supported it through the worst of it. All right, I went over time now.
No, you have
Okay.
30 seconds.
All right, shows like Glee raise awareness of people who have gone through bullying. A lot of these people have experienced it firsthand. What I have to say is, one should spread this message that it is wrong and the damage can be long-standing, but I stand here and tell you that this is something I dealt with my entire life, for a chunk of my life, but now I'm a stronger person because of these experiences. But there's always a motivation behind every hardship you face in your lives.